Nothing.
Off the mic podcast.
Dang, Jordan's first words were the first words recorded on this episode. Oh wait, but people don't know who you are. That so for our viewers. Wait, do you want to do the podcast intro?
Nah, you can do this time.
All right, we got a very special episode for you guys today. I have a list of like favorite people. This person's definitely on it. Like just talent, you know, motivated business mindset, future. It's like a cherry popping moment actually, because this is like a very momentous occasion type deal. Skill, motivated mindset. Gotta say that one twice. Just a great person all around. We got his brother here today, Jordan.
I was wondering where you're going with that. I was like, what the fuck? Jordan's in your top 5?
It's like, no, Jordan. This is Jordan. At some point, that name.
What are you, Jordan? What are you? Remember that.
That'll mean something one day. Jordan Gilbert is here, guys. If we had like an applause thing or some shit, we should put that in.
Hello.
That just sounds nasty. All right.
We don't have one.
What's up, Jordan?
Marcelino Pepino himself. What's good, bro?
Hey.
I can't find y'all.
You can find us on YouTube. We were just talking about that last podcast because we were talking about how like we made up a name and we still didn't get like the first results on YouTube.
So you guys on YouTube or nah?
Yeah. Why are you looking us up right now to verify us? You think this is like a fake podcast? What am I here for, really?
Yeah. What's up, guys? How are you guys today?
Good. But you look more like Jatan these days. You guys have the same mannerisms and shit too now.
Nah, high school Jatan looked like you real talk. I remember girls used to talk about how cute you were, bro.
Yeah. We used to talk about how cute you were too.
I feel it.
What? All right. Well, anyways. Nah, because one time Jatan was like talking to some girl, and the girl was like,
"Aren't you Jordan's brother?"
We just talk about Jatan. We just talk about Jatan on this podcast. Nah, she was like, though, you looking more and more like Jordan every day, and he cute, and I would like whatever with him, and then he was like, what about me? Like if we look the same or whatever, and stuff like that. But yeah, now you've always been big, bro. As far as like a category goes, that like put you in. Mm-hmm. Just if like Big Brothers was a category, you'd be in that category.
What other categories do you have?
Black. Oh, I thought that you were in. I was like, damn, I thought that would hit more. Everybody just paused like I was racist. I was like, I'm getting canceled immediately, bro. This is a fifth podcast. I'm gonna be apologizing on the view. I'm sorry for my comments. You know, I just didn't think about what I said prior to saying it. I love all black people.
Exactly, I did. I thought it'd be funny, but I guess not.
I'm only here so I don't get fined.
Anyways, but nah, you was down in San Diego or whatever. You live in Las Vegas still.
I live in Las Vegas still, yes.
What business are you? What business are you in right now?
I'm in the business of solar brokerage, so selling and then also car rentals and building teams, helping people become successful and whatnot.
That's fire, bro.
Are you a high value man?
I'm a value man.
I respect it.
So
how much do you make a year? Do you make six figures?
I make over $100,000 a year.
Damn, bro. When did this happen?
Facts, bro.
Bro, it's
Who are you?
It's my birthday like 4 days ago, bro. That's
Facts,
wild.
bro. Like you missed like how long you know me? Like 10 years? You missed about 12 birthdays.
It's all right. Just come to Vegas. I'll make up for them.
Okay.
Hey, I mean, I don't know. I think I was like 22. We did get a table at a beach club that was on a rooftop, and there was bitches everywhere. None of them talked to me though.
Yeah, and it was an area that was blocked off, so we were the only table that were in that area.
I think it was because he was black though. I think it just I don't know. I don't think that was because they were
Remember,
VIP.
he's like,
And behind us, James Harden was eating.
Oh yeah, Russell Westbrook and James Harden was there. I didn't see them, but just to know that they were in the vicinity was like a treat in and
wait,
of
how
itself.
did you see him?
I didn't.
How didn't you? Is what I'm saying.
They were eating in a restaurant behind us, and Alejandro was his eyes were distracted by the people that were less clothed out there.
Oh yeah, there's a beach club that says titties everywhere, bro.
Well, you see titties every day.
Nah, not like that, but they were like high quality ones.
You
though.
choose titties over Russell Westbrook and James Harden?
What? What kind of question is that, bro?
What do you mean?
You act like Russell Westbrook can hold a conversation. Have you seen his interviews, bro?
No.
You seen his most famous interview is him being asked the question and him being like, "What, man? Like what? What kind of content is that, bro?" He asked the question to a question, like what? And James Harden is, I don't know, he's cool. He has a step back, but nah, bro, you were big. You made that birthday a very memorable one for me, and I appreciate it. And ever since that day, I've wanted to be the type of person to put other people in that position.
What, man?
What position? Missionary?
Nah, to where it's like, to where I can take someone out for their birthday. I don't know. This is all ad lib. But you said solar panels and you doing car rentals?
Car rentals, a little bit of crypto, a little bit of different stuff.
Are you starting to invest too? Are you been investing?
Different things here and there.
Hell yeah, bro.
Are you on the Bitcoin?
Not Bitcoin, no, Cardone.
Oh.
Yeah,
Is
Cardone.
that Italian?
Do you want it to be Italian?
I mean,
Cardone is a crypto.
There's a girl on Instagram I follow.
Cardone's a crypto? What hoodie from?
Yeah, crypto.
I feel like Tavion has a different laugh every time.
Whatever fits the model of the context that we're in, bro. You gotta appeal to the viewers.
So what's up with you guys? How's the
This
podcast?
is an interview about you.
Oh.
Nah, bro, we're getting to the meat of the conversation now.
Facts, bro.
Why am I here?
No, this is basically why you're here, Jordan. This is basically why you're here.
No, I'm good.
There's an insight. What'd you say?
Imagine he slaps us with like a consulting fee after this.
We get a call from like not him, but like his representative.
Like, what do you mean? I know you, Jordan.
He's like, so in association with the podcast he just did for you guys, there's a fee involved. We're like, what? We got him fish and chips. But anyways, but obviously.
Not get me fish and chips yet.
Well, I know, but this is in the future, Jordan. And then he's calling prior. You have time after this to get fish and chips? 3 hours or 2 hours isn't enough?
Yeah, we can make time.
Oh, okay. You look like you don't want to. You're looking at every corner of the room for like an escape. You're like, can I fit through that vent? What is the front door? No, but we never have a theme, but if this podcast were to have a theme, it would be the insight that an experienced man could bring to the lives of two younger males.
Gotcha.
Type D. How old are you?
28.
I'm not saying that age correlates with wisdom, but there is potential in time to gain wisdom.
Experience.
In experience to gain wisdom, time and experience, depending on what experience you have. And last time we talked, which was like 2 years ago, it's cool, it's whatever. I know you're a busy man, making $100,000 a year, which is wild. You get taxed on that? How does that feel?
When you work for yourself and you have a business, you get to play around with the taxes.
Oh, nice. Is that what the millionaires do and stuff?
Yeah, that's exactly how you save money because you get taxed quarterly. You don't get taxed one part a year. So, yeah, everything you bring in, you put aside 30%. You don't touch it because the government gets that. But if you open a company or a business, S Corp or LLC, whatever your choice is, you get to kind of play around with that. S Corp is mine because you save 15% on taxes. So imagine bringing in $100,000 and saving 15% just on whatever you decide to pay yourself.
Saving 15% of the taxes that you pay?
Yeah, you're saving money. So anytime I go out to eat, I can use that as a write-off.
Oh, so it's like that. So you associate it with the business?
Yeah, associate everything with business. We talk about solar. So
this is a business. If this was an expense for you?
If this was an expense and we mentioned solar, talked about it, which, by the way, if anybody out there wants to make $500 to $1,000 just by knowing a homeowner, feel free to send them towards Alejandro or Tavion's way. And, yeah.
You're pretty much talking to people you've probably talked to today that are watching this podcast right now.
I don't know who the fuck's on this podcast.
It's the viewers are him. 30% of the viewership is in this room right now. It's him, me, you, Jatan. I was gonna say your dad for some reason. Like he watches this.
Okay, I've never watched your podcast.
My cousin.
Just kidding. No.
Well, no, you're watching this podcast. Is what I'm saying. But no, yeah, I didn't really understand anything you just said about taxes, but it sounded good, and I'm sure someone can get something out of that.
Pretty much, if you work for yourself and you open up a business, which you should open up a business, then you save money on taxes.
Do you have employees?
Hmm?
Do you have employees?
Employees? Yeah, I have employees under me.
Oh, you have a business.
Yeah.
Oh.
People that go sell solar.
Oh, it's fire. Last time I thought you was working like for a company.
Yeah, I thought you were like a contractor type.
Oh, yeah, I was with the company. I am still with the company, but you're with the company pays my business, which from my business, I control what I pay myself.
Okay. So
Yeah.
do you get the clients or do they get them for you?
I get my clients.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I work pretty much San Diego, Texas, Arizona, you name the place, but different clients all over. Allows me to travel and use a lot of things as business expenses.
I feel like there's a lot of sun in Arizona.
Yeah, it's actually a lot hotter than Vegas.
Arizona?
Yeah.
Yeah, my dad lives in Yuma. He was telling me it was like 112 or something.
Yeah, people were baking cookies and cooking eggs out there.
Yeah, he's just walking around with a bag of ice on his head.
Yeah.
Wait, so how did you get into the solar system business?
Went to an interview, and they talked about knocking doors. This was about 3 years ago. Never knocked doors, so I thought it was kind of like whatever about it. So before I started the job, after the interview, came down to San Diego and I started noticing solar being put on a lot of houses. And from there, I was just like, wow, this is something that's sprouting, something that's growing.
You saw the potential.
Yeah, and then if you look it up, renewable energy is one of the top 3 companies that's actually in the States. So just pretty much ended up getting into that. Sales, so knocking doors and just meeting people and convincing people into signing 25-year contracts of loans of around $70,000 to $80,000.
Nice.
I used to sell cable, right? And the cable, like the start of everything would be anywhere between like 45 and like $100, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I talked to like 10 people a day.
Mm-hmm.
I got like 1 a week. How do you get the clients that you get to do solar power?
If you were in solar doing that, you'd be making on average about $4,000 every deal.
Oh, okay.
So instead of about like the 100, because actually I went to an interview for selling Cox Digital Cable out there in Vegas, and then I ended up going to another interview for the solar. And this was when I was still working for the casinos, the nightlife, and all that stuff like that. Which is another income right there, which is pretty much just setting up tables and sending people to strip clubs and whatnot. But as far as with that, all you're doing is you're just going and convincing people to. You're not even convincing. You're just you're talking to homeowners who already own their house, and you're letting them know why would you continue to rent your energy. So it's a simple analogy. Would you go back to, if you're a homeowner, would you ever go back to renting a house? Of course, the answer is going to be no. So you ask them, why are you renting your energy? You can own your energy. So it's just kind of breaking it down so that they can understand from that point of view. Or a better yet analogy is, if I were to come to you 25 years ago, and considering how much gas is right now, would you guys have signed in to lock in your rate, $1 rate of gas back then?
Yeah.
Rather than gas being about $3-4 right now, actually about $4 right now a gallon. Would you guys have signed a contract to lock your gas price in for $1, and then after 25 years you have no more bill?
Sounds like a good investment.
Good investment, right? Same thing with solar.
So you feel like it's something that it's still in the beginning development stages type deal?
As far as like batteries and everything, but as far as the panels, I mean, it's pretty simple. It's just panels that are being thrown on top of the roof. You're got the sun that's going up already. So with the sun that's already up, you're just getting energy from that, and you're now powering your house.
That's dope.
Does it like store it in like a battery, like when the sun goes down and stuff like that?
You can buy a battery to store it, but a lot of places you can just store it to the grid. So, some people would buy a battery for $5,000-$6,000 extra, which that's good commission for the salesperson. Me personally, I wouldn't recommend a battery right now. Technology's not really there yet, and you could store it on the grid of your energy company.
So do the people that you get to sign up, are you converting them from another company, or are these the first time solar powered people?
These are first-time solar time people, and then there's people such as people that have already went solar several years back, and they didn't get a right-size system. They're still receiving a bill from the energy company. So out here would be SDG&E. Vegas would be Nevada Energy. So people that have went solar, the goal of going solar is to control your bill. If you're paying like $250, bring your bill down to lock it into about like $100. But if you're still paying about $250 while you have solar, then obviously something wasn't done right. So normally I'd go in, pretty much show them what happened that went wrong, and then if I need to add panels, then I add panels on there. So yeah, I mean, I'm selling people that have solar already, people that haven't went solar. It's just different types of people.
That's dope. I'm sold. So
Sign up.
when you're when you're approaching a sale, what do you think are the most valued components of delivering that sale to a customer?
So we're not selling them; we're actually saving them. Is kind of what you got to see. The
So
thing
you're just identifying the value that already exists.
Yeah, it's just pretty much a lot of people. The reason why they don't do something such as solar or whatever that might be, is because they don't know about it. So people, they go off of their croc brain. So everybody has a croc brain, which is the oldest part of your brain, which is alerted by fear. All it wants to do is keep you safe. But the thing is with the croc brain is that it's only going to send a certain amount of information to your neuropathogen, which is the part that everybody starts to talk all the fancy talk and tech and whatever that might be. If you're trying to sell something, people are normally talking from their neuropathogen part, all these details, numbers, all this stuff like that, when someone who is just using their croc brain is just like, don't know what this is whatever.
So they haven't unlocked that part of their brain yet?
Yeah.
Or
So,
just-
well, there's different parts of the brain, but you have to think of it as everybody's used to their croc brain. So
okay.
A good example for that is if you're, let's just say you're going to your car and you're about to put the key in and somebody yells out your name. You don't know who it
Jordan!
is. Exactly. Somebody yells out your name. You don't know who it is. So that right there is your croc brain reacting. So your croc brain is just trying to separate it to see if it's danger or if it's not danger. Then
Okay.
what happens, it's going to send it to the middle part of your brain. If you see that person, you're like, oh, shit. It's Tavion or it's Alejandro. Oh, okay, I know them.
I'm in
If it's
danger.
me, you should be in danger.
Yeah, you know, with the mixtapes that you got coming out. But, you know, that's
I get it 'cause you're a gangster on those.
with the
Oh,
middle.
I thought he was saying they're trash. They're like a danger to his health or something.
Oh,
I'll take the gangster one though. I'll take the gangster one.
gangster, mental health, whatever helps you sleep at night.
That was a just joke.
Your middle part of your brain is just going to analyze and be like, okay, that's the comfort. That's the, all right, whatever. And then your neuropathogen would be like, okay, cool, you're able to react. So it's just, it breaks it down. That's what your brain does.
So you talk to the croc brain part of the people.
You just have to kind of come off as if it's the croc brain. So
You simplify it.
you simplify everything. Everybody wants to overcomplicate things, which is from the neuropathogen, to when you just need to simplify it, which is for the croc brain. So when you're going and you're talking to somebody, at the end of the day, salespeople, they come off as, hey, I can offer you this, I can offer you that. They come off as old car salespeople. It's not like that anymore. So now it's pretty much, I mean, why should I make you my client? Why should I help you? Granted, you have multiple other people that want to sell you this, but why should I make you my client? And that's what gets them, okay, obviously this person's not desperate for a sale. This person doesn't want to just throw everything at me. And if he's not really caring if he gets the sale or not, he's not going to lie. And that's simple as that.
Do you feel like that translates into the dating world? Like how you sell yourself to a girl?
It as far as with the sales and everything, it's all human psychology, so it translates into the personal world too. So as you can tell from TV shows, movies, and all that, obviously the guys that don't care, that treat their girls like shit, obviously get the hot girls, right?
On the TV shows, yeah.
TV shows and all that.
In real life too.
In real life, it also happens that
Not
way
on the
too.
not on the Good Doctor. But it's it's a made up TV show. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. So pretty much in the personal life, as far as like females that are very attractive, I guess you can say, models, strippers, porn stars, whoever that might be, the very attractive ones that have a crowd full of people, they're going to give more attention to someone who isn't texting them all the time. Hey, what are you doing? All this stuff like that. No, they're not going to give as much attention to that person as they're going to give towards someone that's like, hey, I'm busy, and texts them, I don't know, hours later or a day later, whoever that might be.
Yeah.
So it's all just pretty much like, hey, honestly, you're not the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have other people I can sell to. So the same thing works in the personal world. So it's like, hey, honestly, yeah, that's kind of how it goes.
So when I used to sell internet, it was basically we had certain quotas and shit that we had to hit every month. Do you guys have that?
Yeah, we incorporated the quotas and everything now because what would happen someone would go sell 1 or 2 deals, make about $10,000, and they would just be chilling for about 2 months and then come back and do the same thing. So now it's pretty much like, hey, the whole goal of this company is to train you to be a much better person, to be accountable for yourself, to not just, relax and just, chill at the house and all that after you made $10,000 or go and spend it. Like, you need to learn how to get the business, learn how to work the taxes, learn how to do investments, financial training, human psychology, all stuff like that. It just teaches you to be a successful person.
That's dope. I feel like I like that idea as a business concept where you look out for your employees' best interest in a way, and then they reciprocate that by just being better employees, and then the company benefits from that.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, it's all just leadership. So it's kind of like, you're good at something if you're able to train someone, and then if someone's able to train someone else, that's how you know that you've mastered what you're good at. Is if you're able to train people to where they can train someone else to become successful.
Yeah, that sounds like it makes sense.
So is there a certain look that you gotta have to be successful in this business?
No, we've had all kinds of different people. We've had people from Philadelphia. We've had all tatted up people, females. We have different people.
You say females?
Yeah, we have different. I just have different people. That work.
It's females.
Do you feel like
about solar panels?
No, we try to be controversial. So you feel females can sell as good as guys, or have you seen that? Do you guys have a ranking order?
No, it's just
the females are usually at the bottom.
No, it's actually there's a couple of females in the company right now that are doing great.
They
look good, huh?
Yeah, well, one of them is my girlfriend.
So she looks very good.
She's the top.
She's like the most attractive one. She's like, can you step into my office, please?
Yeah, she was in the medical field. She used to strip. But at the end of the day, all it is just being able to talk to people and listen. So you need to be able to listen, because always have your antennas up, listening to whatever the problem is. The thing is with people is that they're not going to just come out and tell you what their problem is. You're kind of going to have to ask the right questions to get that problem out, and then you have to solve it. Once you solve that and they're assured that you've solved that problem for them, then they're good. So that's pretty much all it is.
Yeah.
So female, male, white, black, tall, short, fat, skinny, Alejandro, Tavion. It just pretty much all just depends on.
So do you use your same selling psychology to sell yourself to a female?
No, honestly, the thing is when you're focused into work and you're just working a lot and all that, you're gonna come across beautiful females, all the stuff like that. Just stay focused on the grind and all the stuff like that, but still hit them up. Hit them up here and there. If you want something, you just have to kind of option it in there. So it's kind of just talking with them, I guess.
Yeah, I was just having a conversation with someone who pointed out something that he had watched in regards to how to be attractive to people. The best way to be attractive to people is to put yourself in positions that make you more attractive in general. So just work on yourself, work on your business.
Yeah, you work on building yourself up and all that stuff like that, then, you can get whatever you want to get eventually. The thing is just people are, they're too emotional based. Humans are naturally emotional creatures. So everyone's just emotional based to where they base a lot of their decisions, their actions off of emotions. So as far as a female that's probably very beautiful to you or something like that, instead of hitting her up every day, hey, what are you doing, let's go do something, all stuff like that. Hey, you know what, you're busy, focus on building what you need to do,
Yeah.
and you guys can still keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
So it's all push and pull. So it's just pretty much, you know, you don't want to push so hard that as far as sales and everything, life, everything's push and pull. You don't want to push so hard to where you scare them off, but you don't want to pull back so much that they're just like, all right, this person just doesn't fucking flat out care.
You come off as way too uninterested.
So you just got to have a balance of push and pull.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, I can do this, but I'm not sure if it makes sense on my end.
Yeah, that makes sense, because if you're just always available and always trying to press for time for the other person,
that means you're dedicated. You love the person.
It devalues. I mean, I feel like very few people would say that. Maybe once you're married, but I feel like that devalues your own time, because if you're just giving it away like a stock or whatever, just flooding the market with your time, nobody's gonna want that.
Why are you relating this to stocks?
I don't know. I thought that's what you were you were like interested in.
He said we flooding the market.
First of all, that was a great analogy.
I mean, yeah, it was funny.
I feel like you could just. I feel like you could have also just been like, yeah.
Why did your mind go to stocks?
Because we got a lot of business energy going on right here, bro. Just I hopped on the wagon.
So when you're on Robinhood, right? You see a good looking stock.
I don't know how to relate it to you then. It'd be like, so if you see some
crazy.
Timbs, and everybody has them, you're not gonna want them after a while. Or whatever. Sandals,
Yes,
some Nike sandals. You see some.
Oh man.
But yeah, I mean, as far as like freshening up and
Thank you for adding your input. That was very useful.
getting good at stuff, I just recommend reading. Definitely reading just different books, stuff like that.
What do you read? What have you? Have you read Rich Dad, Black Dad?
I've read the other version of that one.
White dad.
White Dad, Black Dad.
Black son.
Yeah, I read the other version of that one. It's
We'll just edit the gap out and make it seem like you came up with it on the spot. Just go take your time.
Yeah, like I've read that. You know, just different things. Miracle Morning, Atomic Habits, the six pillars of self-confidence. You know, just the 4 agreements. Hit refresh. That's by the CEO of Microsoft. Kind of how he wanted to get the business and how everybody all that going a certain way. Yeah, just a lot of just different books.
That's dope.
5-second rule. That one right there was pretty good. It's by some chick.
That's the one where you have to make a decision in 5, or you have to act on a decision in less than 5 seconds.
Act on under 5 seconds, or else your brain's gonna talk yourself out of it. So if it's like, hey, I need to go walk the dog right now, and you keep thinking, I can get somebody else to do it or whatever.
Yeah.
Instead of like, hey, you know what? Let me just go walk the dog.
I was wondering why I kept peeing myself in the mornings, because 5 seconds. But yeah.
Oh, crazy! You should have thought about that one for more than 5 seconds.
Don't edit that bad boy out.
No, we had all live features, but that's dope.
So you think reading is essential? Like, do you think there's certain knowledge you can only find in a book, or is it just the way you like absorb information is like different if you see it in the book?
Think of it like this: life's all about making mistakes. So in life, you want to make as many mistakes as possible. But the thing is that it's not a video game where you have 3 lives. You only have 1 life. So people that are working 9 to 5s and everything like that, they're just afraid to take that risk to go make that mistake. But the thing is mistakes are okay because you learn from those mistakes. Okay, when I went out and I first started doing sales and all that stuff like that, I kept running into the same mistake as, for example, doing one-leggers. So when you have a husband that says, I make all decisions by myself, don't worry about it, everything like that, and then you go through the whole pitch, whatever that might be, and then at the end, his objection is, I got to talk to my wife. Oh, I thought you make all the decisions. So it's just, after a certain amount of those, it's like, okay, I can't do one-leggers. So now I'm not sitting down with anyone unless both parties are there or whoever's the main person's there. So life's all about making mistakes. People are just afraid to make them. But the thing is from reading books, you're reading books of other people that have made mistakes, and you're learning off of their mistakes.
Yeah.
So instead of you going out and making that mistake yourself, you're now learning off of someone else's mistake and how they got past it, to where now you're going to find other mistakes.
Yeah, that makes sense. Someone talked about it, how it's like a person's life condensed to what they found to be most valuable, like in a book or whatever, during a certain portion of their life. Some of like the most brilliant minds or whatever that have like written books, and it's silly not to use those as tools.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have their life in it. They're gonna need something to talk about rather than just like the main nuts and bolts and stuff. So they want to keep the audience in so that they can continue reading the book and stuff. So it's just all pretty much just keeping the audience entertained within the book, and then also just letting them know like, hey, I went through this. You might have went through this, or you probably haven't went through it yet, but this is how I solved it, and this is how I got through it, so that you don't have to experience that.
Yeah.
Now, that's not what the book is telling you, but it's just simple as that. Hey, I was having this problem of getting things done around the house, so I picked up this book called 5-Second Rule, and now, all right, instead of just thinking and pondering on, I gotta get these dishes done, fuck it, just go get the dishes done.
Yeah.
Oh man, the thing is with this job, as far as with the solar and stuff, is you have a lot of freedom. So with having a lot of freedom, you have to now be in charge of yourself to go out there and work. To do that, you have to set your own schedule. It's not working a 9 to 5 where you got to clock in and clock out. No, This one right here is you can wake up and choose to enjoy the whole day, or you can wake up to choose to enjoy the whole day and just relax, spend money, or you can go out and make money. So the choice is yours, but every action has a reaction.
Yeah. Do you need a license for this, like real estate?
No, you don't need a license for it. In certain states, you do need a license for it. If you're knocking on the doors a lot and all that, you would probably want to get a peddler's license and all that stuff like that. But I know a lot of people that don't have license or anything like that. So it all just
They do it illegally.
No, it's just all you're doing is you're just working for a company that is a lender or whatever of the panels. So you're going out, you meet the person. If you can show the person wants to sign up with you, they sign up under you and you get paid for it.
That's dope.
So you're doing door knocking and like cold calling, or you're like looking at prospective people like on the list?
Because I've been in it for several years, I work off of a lot of referrals. So referrals from people, past clients that I've worked with and everything. And I just pay them out as far as sending me people, because people are going to eventually want to go solar, because that's kind of the way it's going now. So if they're going to eventually go solar, why not put your name on it and get credit for it?
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah, as far as with that, it's just kind of, just going out and doing that. I mean, you'll still call past clients. If you get a lead or something like that, you can call a lead. You can do cold calling if you want, but it's just pretty much, it's kind of like real estate, honestly. You're going out. I sold someone in the Dre's nightclub bathroom that was a bathroom attendant.
A guy?
That's dope.
He owned a house. So as long as they own their house and they're over 650 credit score, they can qualify for solar.
Make payments?
Yeah, so parents, uncles, wherever they might be or anything like that, they send a referral or something like that. We see what we can do, if we can do anything for them. And then, we just pretty much set it up there. So it's just kind of, it's like real estate, honestly. It's literally a step below real estate, because I work with real estate agents also by sending them clients.
So is there ever like a slow season? Like, is there a slow season?
I mean, it's sales, I guess. Some people, it was real slow during Corona, so a lot of people, they didn't really work or anything like that. You just learn to adapt. So instead of a lot of people that were not out knocking doors or anything like that, you just perfected your phone calls. So now you're calling, you're cold calling, you're calling past clients, and then people that you are, and if they don't want you in their house or anything like that, cool. You find a solution. It's like a cameraman. If you can't get a certain picture, if you can't get a certain shot, you're going to change the angle. You're not going to just give up on it. So you just got to figure out a different way to solve that problem. So that's when Zoom calls, all that stuff like that. And, I went out with a buddy. We rode out on the boat and everything like that, and literally had a lake day, and then came back home during Corona, and then sold someone over Zoom, and made $4,000
Nice.
over a Zoom call. All you're doing is explaining it and just making sure it makes sense to them, and that they're satisfied with that. If they're satisfied with their product and everything, then they'll send you referrals.
Yeah.
So if you guys go on Direct Solar and look at all the reviews on the Google reviews, you'll see a lot of them are from me, pretty much, or a lot of them are pretty much speaking about me, helping them out, and you're just working off referrals. So I mean, I still try to get out there and knock doors sometimes because it's kind of fun.
Oh, because like a lot of other people aren't doing it right now.
A lot of people don't knock doors, but you know, a lot of people are. Now everything's opening back up. Vegas is open up fully in June, but you know, it's just kind of fun, just getting out there once in a while.
Yeah.
Because you never know what you run into. You run into just different people.
Is there ever a time when you don't make a sale for like solar, but like you get like you talk to somebody and they may have an opportunity for you to do something else, or you build a relationship around something else?
I mean, you can always build relationships around other things. Good thing about solar is that I make my own schedule. So, you know, it's like I can do something else or do multiple other things. Like if you wanted to just get vehicles or rent them on Turo, you can do that. You know, buy, flip, trade, work on cars, stuff like that. You can do that as well.
Oh, is that where you're renting cars on Turo?
Yeah, just renting cars on just different places. My boy opened up a dealership that I'm working with him with. And yeah, just different things. There's always different ways to make money. But yeah, as far as like with your question there, define your question again. I'm sorry.
So when you knock on the door, you're like trick or treat, and you're like it's not even Halloween. You're like, I'm just kidding, solar panels. And they're like, oh, I already got it, or maybe I don't want it. Like, but they say, but maybe you can help me out with this, or maybe take my number down. Maybe I'll think about it in the future, and then maybe they hit you up with like an opportunity to do something, or y'all build like a friendship or anything like that. Do you guys do anything like that? Because I made like 2 friends selling cable, and they never bought any cable from me. So
I mean, I've met different people. You know, I've met some real estate agents. Yeah, I've met someone that built the strip clubs that are Deja Vu in Tennessee and a bunch of other places also. You meet different people pretty much. Kind of. I've met movie actors. I've met people that have produced, written, all that music, stuff like that. Yeah, you just never know who you'll meet pretty much. So it's just kind of, you go out, different people do different things. They give you a business card if they're doing something like that. But, you know, you're just kind of listening to what they're doing.
So another question going off that. When I was in sales and I got like a no, I'd be pissed. And I'd be like, man, fuck, I'm not doing this shit no more. Basically, most of the time I pack up for the day or I like stop, you know. So, and maybe in the beginning this happened to you more, maybe not now because you're like a pro. What do you do when you get like back to back like no's? Like how do you stay encouraged to keep going?
Well, you got to think about it like this. Well, would I want to continue collecting no's or go back to working a 9 to 5 to where I'm getting paid this much? So for some people,
that's so simple, but so like smart. I didn't even think about that.
Are you working a 9 to 5 right now?
Yeah.
Oh, so you made that decision?
So
yeah, I went back to a 9 to 5. Yeah.
What
it's
a
pretty
bum.
much like I've had a lot of people that work for me that do pretty much. I mean, you're collecting those. So if you think about it, if you're getting paid, I don't know, $3,000, $4,000 on every deal or something like that, you have to collect many no's because all you need is one yes. If you got one yes a week, that right there is about $4,000 a week. If you make $4,000 a week, you're making over $100,000.
Because the way I seen it, the way I rationalized it was a 9 to 5 is like guaranteed, but then the sales is like based on how much work you put in for yourself. And being that I have my own schedule, and most of the time once I start getting those, I'm like, bro, I'm done. And maybe I take 2-3 days off and I won't even go out and even talk to people at all. And then like damn, now my pockets is hurting. But it's still like, bro, what's the point of going out if I'm going to get all these no's anyway? So then I'm like, fuck it. I'll go back to working a 9 to 5. Yeah, I'm like, that's why I went back.
You gotta collect your no's to get the yeses. So that's the thing that a lot of people, they can't do this game is because they're afraid to get rejected.
How many no's would you say you get per yes?
I get a couple of no's. I don't get as many as now. I mean, I get people that don't even give me a flat out no, and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
What do you mean? Like a maybe?
There's a lot of excuses that people like to give instead of just giving me a no, I'm not interested. I would rather have a no, I'm not interested, so that it's like, okay, cool, I can move on, rather than I don't know, not now, later. It's just different things.
Do you feel like that's a no in disguise?
It's a no in disguise, but you're not giving me enough respect to give me no right up front.
I know, but like in the same way that like a person would if you were to ask out a girl and she were to be like, oh, I'm focusing on my career right now, it's like a no, but like you just have to recognize that that's a no, like from the guy.
It's not a no. If she's just saying, oh, I'm focusing on my career right now, cool, you can focus on your career and you can still have somebody that you can talk to.
No, yeah, that's definitely a way to like perceive it or whatever.
But if it's like a no, I'm not interested, then it's a no, I'm not interested. That's a flat out cool.
Yeah, that's like one way society can run, but also there's people that are just like not like either like mentally mature enough or for whatever reason.
Yeah, they overcomplicate the stuff rather than making it simple. Life's all about making things simple.
And it's more for like themselves versus like they're not thinking about you, thinking like, oh, this person has to move on or whatever. They're just thinking like, I don't want to come off as like rude or whatever.
Yeah, some people will say I don't want to come off as rude or whatever, but a no is a no. No,
yeah.
I'm not. You can say no, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
In things.
So basically, say no to Jordan if he comes to your house.
I mean,
and you don't want
to. You have to look at it this way. So as far as the human psychology, it's mostly based off of body language.
Mm-hmm.
So if they are still having the door open and they're outside just talking with you,
yeah,
and they said no. There's times where I've came in homes and they're like, I'm not signing, and they're signing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So it's just like they can say whatever they want because verbal, I mean, you can look it up on the internet. Verbal is only like 15%
Wait, I watched
of what they say to where it's body language and tonality.
Yeah.
That's all you need to focus on is body language and tonality. That's going to tell you all you need to know about what that person's saying or how that person feels. There's sometimes going to be people that are having a bad day. There's people that have been, I'm not interested, no, leave, get out of here, and I return to them several months later or a year later and sign them up.
Yeah, I was just talking about from the perspective of like people wasting your time and not giving you like a verbal no.
No, you could pick up on certain people and all that. I mean, if you've been in it for a while, you can kind of know because it's all patterns, it's trends. So you're just picking up on the patterns and the trends of things and all stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's just cool.
You feel like sometimes you could tell who's going to be a no at like the beginning sometimes, or like who's going to be a yes at the beginning?
You'll have some people that, will listen to the whole thing, don't ask any questions, and then it's like, okay, this kind of went by too fast. This was too easy. This one right here is going to end up being a cancel.
Yeah, because they're like not interested.
My whole thing is to get questions out. You're going to have questions on this because if you didn't have questions on it, you would have already had it. So it's just pretty much like, okay, there's a reason why you haven't had it. Is it because someone tried to oversell you? Is it because someone showed you that you can get this loan for this price? Or is it because you're only saving $15? If you're only saving like $15 or whatever, something like that, I wouldn't even do it myself. Oh, okay. Now they have someone that's on their side, their team.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, he wouldn't do it, so okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now, let me see what I can do, if we can even do anything.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, let's see what you can do. Simple. Break it down, and that's that.
You should do a spoof off of this where you're like talking to a girl exactly this way, and it's just like.
I guess I can. So when I used to go clubbing a lot, this was when I lived in San Diego still. I would go to Gaslamp a lot. I'd club. The thing is, you gotta have a pitch. So I would go to different clubs, and just walk up to just different chicks.
Like you'd have like a something you would always have.
You always gotta have a straight line system. You gotta have a script that you stick to personally. Everyone has their different one or whatever.
That's fire.
You can switch it up with different people, but if you have a straight one, then you can, instead of worrying about what they're gonna say and all this, you know exactly what you need to say. It's where you can just pay attention to their reaction and how they respond to things.
You talking about picking up girls?
Picking up girls.
Oh, okay.
So for a good example of that, Gaslamp. When I used to club a lot, I go out every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. I would average picking up about 5 numbers from different chicks. Okay. Every night I went out. So the reason I would do that is because you're playing off a law of numbers, just like how sales is. You're playing off a law of numbers. You can collect several no's, but you get 1 or 2 yeses, you're good.
So you talk to like 300 girls, and then it's like, not playing.
not talking to 300 girls, but I would go around.
get
I would
7
talk to different females.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you don't want to come off as, oh man, I'm desperate, or hey, I want to get with you, or I want to bring you home. No, I'm just coming off as someone friendly. That hey, you know what? Outside of the club, if you ever want to hang out, cool. You can hang out. Here's my number. Here's me, and I'm coming across respectfully.
Yeah.
Simple as that. So, I walk up to every female, and I give them the same line.
Well,
Hey, how's it going? My name is such and such. Your name is. Okay, cool.
Slim Shady.
What's your race? And, yeah, so
make sure you check, because if it's this, then we could just end this right now.
What do you mix with? Even if they weren't mixed with anything, but it was just something to get the conversation going. Oh, where are you from? Where whatever that question might be.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just, oh, okay, cool. They let you know. So you're just having a regular conversation. Now, if there's someone that's just like rude or whatever, then if it's tomorrow I can bring it. So if it's just like you're just going, you're talking to them, I put my hand out, I shake their hand, rather than just like how you have to separate yourself from how everybody else gets at a person or talks to a person, I guess you can say.
Yeah.
So go, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I just wanted to let you know I'm such and such. If you need anything or anything like that, I know such and such, such and such. Or I live in San Diego, just, introducing myself, whatever that might be. Would love to hang out with you sometimes outside of this, whatever. So you average in about 5 numbers. 1 or 2 of them probably going to have a boyfriend, probably messed up, shouldn't have gave you the number. One of them probably is not going to give you a right number or whatever, but that still leaves 1 or 2. So if you're doing that, getting 5 numbers 3 days out of a week, you're keeping about 6 to 8 numbers.
6 to 8 potential happiness.
On average of people that, could be work. I mean, I had a female that worked at IKEA that I got hookups for. I got hookups from. So it's just people do work at different locations. So
hookups at IKEA, like products?
Couch, everything like that, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
So it's just different things. And this was years back. But just different things such as, you're just meeting them and you're not coming off as, hey, I want to take you home and sleep with you. Even though that might be what you want, but that might not be what they want. So it's kind of like just, okay, you're introducing yourself and you're just letting them steer of how it's going to go.
Well,
and then be like, hey, nice to meet you, all this stuff like that. Well, I got to get going. You leave. Bam. You may have a dance with them, may get them a drink, whatever, but you leave, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So when I first started doing sales, I was recruited by a manager, right?
Yeah.
He was trying to get me to join his team for like a whole year. I never did it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I finally got it and I went under his wing and shit. Did you have somebody that did that for you, or this is just something that you just like seen and you're like, let me just try this out, and then it ended up working?
I knew the 9-to-5 life wasn't really for me once I was able to kind of get away with a lot of shit in the 9-to-5 life with managers, because of the relationship that I built with managers. For example, the casino, they run off of pretty much how long you've been there, so seniority and everything. As soon as I got there, I'd probably say 2-3 weeks in, I had the weekends off, as to where other people have put in to have the weekends off and didn't get it. So it's just pretty much just relationship building, all that stuff. And I was just like, I mean, I've always been in sales. I worked AT&T, number 1 sales in DirecTV with AT&T. I worked in the Walmarts or whatever, selling the cable for like a couple of weeks. I worked at Fry's Electronics out here for several years. I mean, at Fry's Electronics, they kind of just tossed you on the sales floor. I didn't know what a receiver was, but then I learned what everything was, learned about specs of TVs and all stuff like that, and, you just learn about different things. So then I did car sales for a bit. It was just different things, I guess you could say. Just kind of freshen it up, so you learn from just different ways, how different,
It's gonna be dope doing this podcast in like 15 years when Jordan's like a multi-millionaire, and then we're gonna show like clips from this podcast, and then like we're gonna show where he lives right now in his car right now. Actually, you'll probably have the same stuff, huh? Because like millionaires don't like grade up, because that's not what's important.
Facts, they go backward and shit. He's gonna have holes in his shirt.
Yeah, but you'll be worth like $1 billion.
I mean, Warren Buffett, he still eats at McDonald's and drives a very old vehicle.
Yeah, he's gonna die soon.
Yeah, but he doesn't know. But like, that's
rich people live like they're broke.
What's cool about one, I saw that one interview that he was talking about how he still learns stuff like every day because he's like reading constantly.
Yeah, everyone's learning things every day. Anything that you want to kind of freshen up on, as far as, if it's podcasts, music, construction, sales, you name it. You can read books upon that of kind of how people did certain things, and then just kind of get their perspective on it. And some things may work if you tie it in. Some things may not work.
Do you have like any people that you like follow, like Gary Vee or like Grant Cardone or any people like that, or you just kind of do what you feel like is the best thing for you?
Different people, different things. Gary Vee, I mean, he has some good content, stuff like that. He talks more of like, the younger generation, like, hey, it's not too late. You still have time. A lot of them kind of talk about the same thing as far as like with not acting like you're rich and all that stuff. But I follow Brad Lee. He's in Vegas. I also follow, like Tony Robbins, Michael Cervant, just different people.
Have you ever thought about stepping into that field of like motivational speaking and making videos like that?
No.
Because you motivated the mess out of me when we was in Vegas. He was like, "How many streams of income do you have?" And I was like one.
What's the stream?
I was like, "What's income?"
I'm working at a deficit, right?
No, not really.
You never thought of it?
I have a best friend that's in LA. She's a life coach. She's doing real great at it also. But just different things. I think I have a lot of stuff on my plate that I kind of need to sort out and kind of get going and all that. Then getting into kind of just motivational speaker and all that stuff like that. I still have many mistakes to make and much to learn.
Is this the field you see yourself staying in then? This area, or just sales in general, or is it like with solar panels?
I mean, at the end of the day, life is sales.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta kind of push and pull, sell what you want. If you want a certain table, you gotta make it known, and you gotta talk your way into getting that table.
Yeah. So under the umbrella of sales, in that everything is pretty much sales, do you see yourself in this section, or do you want to stretch out into other things?
Like doing other types of sales and everything.
Yeah, or do you want to start like a business in a different area?
Yeah.
I mean, goal is to kind of get as much under your plate or under your belt as you possibly can. So, good thing to do is, if you get things that you enjoy, that you like under your belt. So I like cars. So getting something that has to do with cars under my belt. Renewable energy, that's always good because it's good for the environment. That's something that I have under my belt and everything.
Is that important to you, that part of it?
The environmental part?
Yeah. Yeah,
I mean, environment's very important. I mean, you look at like all the...
I'm in this for the money, not the...
when you first start off, yeah, you're in it for the money. When you first start off, you're just like, oh shit, this is how much you can make and everything. But then once you're in it for a while, then it's kind of like, all right, well, now it's just helping other people that don't have this opportunity do this opportunity. Because there's a lot of people out there that, are working their ass off like I used to. I used to work so good. Like, for example, I worked at John's Incredible Pizza.
Oh, I remember that, Jordan.
That was
what a goofball.
That was my first job out of high school, and worked there. Jatan worked there too, actually. But yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know that
guy. Isn't his poster over your bed?
Is it?
What?
Weird.
What poster? He has a poster?
I gotta say, I didn't even realize that. Yeah.
Have you guys even seen his Wipeout episode?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw his post on Instagram. I don't get cable, so I don't.
Oh, okay.
Is it on like?
He needs more streams of income.
Is it on Netflix?
That's
wild.
I saw his Netflix thing. Yeah, that thing where he was like not sleeping for 24 hours and they dumped water on him, and then it was like some group.
We were watching that at your house with him, right? He said, "This is the good part. This is the good part."
Facts, bro. I don't know. It was pretty long, but no, that was prior. That was before he started getting all the roles that he's getting now. Started making all the moves. It's cool seeing like the progression that he's having.
Yeah. He's just. Thing is, he's just not sleeping. So it's his work ethic. Just putting himself out there to be able to learn. The thing is to be able to grow, to be able to move up in life, is just you have to be able to put your ego aside. when it needs to be put aside. So putting your ego aside, being able to have that coachable mentality. If it's something that you're not good in, but you want to learn about it, cool. You're learning about that. And that's kind of what he did with the video editing. He went out there, didn't know what the hell he was doing when he first started, and then he ended up picking up on it and got to where he is now. Where now he's video editing for a lot of big people. So it's just, just going out there to take that risk that, a lot of other people are afraid to do. Some of the best books were never written because those people didn't go write them. Some of the best rap songs were never fucking sung because those people didn't have that confidence within themselves to go out there and just put it out there.
Just didn't believe in themselves.
Yeah, the thing is that you just gotta believe in yourself. You gotta know what you want, and go out there and go get it.
Do you think that's based off is that something that your parents instilled in you? Cause I used to stay with Jatan too, and I used to see him every day. He'd be on new shit every day, and then I was basically just doing my 9 to 5 and going to school, and then that was pretty much all I was doing. But I seen Jatan was doing hella shit, and I seen you doing hella shit, and it's just not something that I wanted to do. And me and James, we didn't really want to do that shit. We were just chill doing what we were doing. So do you think that's from your parents, or what do you think it is?
I guess you can say kind of. We just kind of seen how our parents were. They kind of put in that work. They worked the 9 to 5. So they did the 9 to 5. Mom worked different shift than my dad. They would work and they put in a lot of work. They'd come back home, talk about how work was and all that. And it was just the sacrifice that they did for us, just going out and doing that 9 to 5. I mean, we picked up a lot of things from them, but the 9 to 5 and everything there was something we saw them do and what worked for them and got them to where they are now. To where we figured, okay, we could do the 9 to 5. That's easy. But can we add more onto that? Can we invest more into ourselves while doing that 9 to 5?
Yeah.
So that's why when I first started working at John's Cardo Pizza, met a buddy, and he ended up getting me into Fry's Electronics. I didn't know about sales at all. And I just ended up getting dropped into sales. So I worked at John's Cardo Pizza and I worked at Fry's Electronics. Ended up picking another third job, just setting up meal preps for chefs that are in San Diego. So I ended up working 3 jobs. I was like, okay, cool. It felt good working 3 jobs. I mean, you're tired, but you got to think about it. What else are you doing with your time?
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends, going out to play basketball, stuff like that. Cool. You can always go do that. There's going to be days where you're off. If you can go do that, you can go do that. Because if your friends are always out there playing every day, cool. Then if you're working 6 days out of the week and you have 1 day off, you can go play with them out there, and then you have a lot more to talk about because it's just work that you're working.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie Whiplash with the drummer?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, well, it's basically a movie about a kid that is becomes obsessed.
I seen the trailer and everything.
Yeah, he becomes obsessed with the idea of becoming one of the greats or whatever. And the end scene, spoiler alert for the 5 people, the end scene is basically him becoming what his teacher wanted him to be, which was which was going in the direction of becoming one of the greats. But the big thing in the movie was that his teacher was ruthless. He would hit him, he hit him a couple of times, and he would yell at him, and that was his approach to it. And they had a conversation at one point when he was saying that he's never gonna regret how he approached it because of what his goal was or whatever. That wasn't the point I was trying to make. The point I was trying to make was that when he was the final scene, when he was hitting that performance of a lifetime, his father looked at him. And then one perspective that someone talked about on a YouTube video was that it actually wasn't, because it was supposed to be an uplifting scene, he accomplished, he persevered through his teachers whatever, putting downs and everything, and he practiced really hard, and now he's at the point of his development where he's reached that peak or whatever. But one perspective was that his father was seeing him become a monster, so to speak, an obsessed monster.
So it was a whiplash.
Huh?
He said,
I don't see the correlation, but I feel but the perspective or whatever, because you're talking about how if you dedicate a lot of time to working, you might not have a lot of time for other things or whatever, but what are you gonna do with your time anyway? Is it really gonna help you? But can you see that perspective though of it maybe not being the path to take because you're in a way losing out on other aspects of life? If you become obsessed and career goals or whatnot.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, getting so dived into
Honestly.
work and everything like that to where you don't have time for like family and outside stuff and all that.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, like with me, I have to learn how to do a balance, which I'm still working on.
Yeah.
Is the balance between family with the kids, my parents, and work and all that stuff like that, to where I have a healthy balance that works. That's where Jatan, he doesn't have any kids or anything like that, so he's able to fully dive into that and just fully grind.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, I guess the perspective that me and Jatan kind of see it is that, you know, a lot of people see it as, you know, we have all the time in the world. We have plenty of time. And, I mean, Gary Vee kind of harps on, yeah, you guys have plenty of time. There's no rush or anything of that matter. But it's not really us looking at, oh, we have time. It's us looking at my parents who've worked so hard and deserve a lot more, don't have a lot of time. So putting in all that work now that we can to show our parents, hey, we're good. You don't have to worry about us. Plus, on top of that, anything else, we got you guys. So that you guys can actually enjoy your retirement.
Yeah.
Enjoy going out and visiting different places and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's just, you know, we may have plenty of time, but our parents don't have plenty of time. Kids don't have plenty of time. They're going to continue growing to where they're going to be where we are. So it's just kind of, you know, time is a big, big ordeal. It's the main factor of life.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say I thought you were going to approach it from saying that your parents dedicated a lot of their time to making sure that, you know, you were kind of set up to a certain extent to having time or whatever.
I mean, you can look at it that way also. Yeah. I mean, either way you look at it, it's pretty much just, you know, our parents made sacrifices. They worked hard. Even for parents that didn't sacrifice and didn't work hard or anything like that, the thing is, it's like, okay, cool. This is your phone's.
I was about to be like, damn, Jordan, twice in one.
I put mines on yeah. But, yeah, the thing is, you know.
Oh, it's not even on. Oh, it's connected to the Bluetooth. That's why.
It is.
That might happen again. So I don't know.
It's my first podcast. Head ass.
Pretty much. First time with the guests. All right, let's get off sales, bro. It's too much. How'd you meet your girlfriend?
The fuck?
Solar panels.
You try to sell us.
I already have your address. I already have your name. You're not getting away from me.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you do have a lot of information on people, but I met her at Roberto's, and yeah, this was like before Corona.
You're on camera too, so it's stuff that you.
Just kidding.
I don't know what that was. Yeah, edit that out. It's whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It was just, you know, we met at Roberto's, and from Roberto's, we just kind of were off and on, just hung out, stuff like that, good vibes. And, you know, she was just positive. And then ended up getting her into solar, so now she works solar, and yeah, we just kind of work together. So
Jay-Z and Beyonce.
So what do you have to see in a girl that makes you make that leap between a hookup or whatever, or a possible partner for your life? What are three qualities you look for in a female that sets her apart?
Back for 3? Well, I guess we're in a relationship.
She gives you the right number.
Mindset, definitely the mindset, and then just pretty much just how they carry themselves, and then just, you know, main thing with a guy is, you know, they need that confidence booster. And if you're going to have a partner, if you're going to have a female, that person's got to be someone that can lift your spirits, you know, and be that confidence booster. Yeah. Especially in the world of sales and everything like that. It's hard. It's a mental thing. Mm-hmm. So there's times where I've come home and just, you know, dealing with so many different people. I've had times where I've closed several deals within a day, to where it's just like I've dealt with so many different people, had to sit in the hot seat with someone saying I'm not interested, I'm not going to do anything, and I have to literally just sit there and figure out what the problem is. Not be like, oh, okay, no worries, I can leave right now. No, sometimes that person needs a push to be able to make that decision. And so, you know, it's a lot of mental stress that's on me and everything. So you just need somebody that can when you can go home, just be like, hey, you know what? You know, you can talk about the day, whatever. Just kind of keep your mind positive. Just be like, you know,
Like passion and positivity.
add passion and positivity. I guess.
Nice. Yeah. So would you be okay if your girl? So would you be okay at some point having a girl that was like a stay-at-home type?
I mean, either or. I mean, I just stay at home. I've had many.
He's still a child.
I've had many chicks that were stay at home offer that, but I mean, stay at home is cool, but if I was stay at home, I'd be bored. So
Nice.
I know with a lot of other females, they get bored, and a lot of times people that are stay at home and get bored, they want to, you know, pick arguments or find other things or whatever because their boyfriend's working too hard and not giving them the attention that they need. Mm-hmm. So there's just multiple things. I don't know exactly which one, but I mean, a female that hustles, and you know, just, you know, she's independent while I'm independent, but we just come together to just kind of build more off of that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, I have 2 kids already. I have a dog. And, you know, having a significant other, I don't want to just have to take care of that person.
Yeah.
As far as like, okay, I'm doing all this. No, I want that person to be self-motivated to go out and go get their own. Mm-hmm. So whatever that might be, you know, for Starbucks or whatever, I'm not knocking anything, but it's like, yo, like staying at home only makes sense if the person that's going out working is literally bringing in so much to where it's just like he's never there to be able to take care of the family.
Yeah, and then you would see the value in having like a stay-at-home type wifey.
And I can see the value in that, but even then, if you're bringing in so much money, you got a nanny, so it's kind of like just, you know, different things.
Yeah, I feel like guys focus less when they're searching for like a girl or whatever, whether they think whoever is attractive. I think they definitely focus less on her or her career. They take that into consideration.
Well, like I said, humans are not naturally emotional based. So if you know how to see the emotions and all that stuff, then you go out for that. At the end of the day, you got to have a balance of logic and you got to have a balance of emotions to kind of get through. So there can be reasons that you're with someone because it feels good being with them. It makes you look good and all stuff like that, but they're the most toxic person in the world. Or it can be with someone that's, you know, it doesn't make you feel good or whatever, but they help you build a lot more. It's someone that you don't see yourself being with, but they're helping you as far as like, hey, here I'm taking care of this, that. So it's just, you know, different sides.
As far as like a relationship goes?
Yeah, it's different sides. Different females. You have a female that doesn't do anything and it's just like, hey, I'm here to support you or whatever. Or you have one that's going out, it's working, and it's like, hey, you know what? Let me surprise you with a nice restaurant or something like that. Not okay, you're surprising me, but you're with my money. Rather than surprise me, but you're surprising me with your money.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure there's like a balance. I think personally, I definitely would value someone who would be supportive of me more. And then I would just rely on myself to put myself in a position where I was able to support a family.
You just gotta ask yourself, are you looking at things from your values and from what you see it, or are you looking at things from what your parents conditioned you to see it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I think it's a part of both, just like life experience and how you grow up. And then I'm trying to figure stuff out also. Mm-hmm. But the meaning that I find in like a relationship, I feel like it's derived from just basic understanding of whatever relationship I had in the past and like what I want moving forward.
Oh, well, so you're just pretty much looking at the pros and cons that you've had in the previous relationships that you've had, and you're just now bringing that into the new one. So it's like, okay.
Yeah, building off of that.
I went through this mistake and this mistake with this female. I'm going to avoid these mistakes by not doing that same thing that I did with that one, with this one. And that's the same thing as far as like reading a book. Even if you read books on relationships and talking to females, that's the same thing right there. Your whole thing is trying to figure out what mistakes that you got to make so that you don't make those mistakes or mistakes that other people have made.
Yeah. So, I don't even necessarily think that like whatever my parents were doing or like uncles and aunts were doing, I don't think that model is like there's anything wrong with that model or whatever, or like carrying that into my life.
No, there's nothing wrong with that at all, but there's like certain things that you do want to carry in and certain things that you don't want to carry in.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you are your own person.
Yeah, my dad never got married, but It's not a good example. But I do have aunts and uncles that was happy.
And so everyone has their different things as far as that. There's people that I've been with that were married and were in the middle of getting a divorce. So it's just, when you're meeting someone, you just kind of, one thing that I look for when I pay attention when I am talking to a female is their past life, how they were in their past life, how they were with their ex-boyfriends, all the stuff like that, and then also their parents, how they were raised, everything like that. That will tell you all you need to know about that person.
The relationship with their parents?
Yeah, the relationship with their parents, who raised them, how that went, their upbringing, and then also how their exes were, the relationships with their past and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So those are like the two main things that you kind of just ask and figure out and all that stuff. To where it's like, okay, I have an idea of what to expect and what's going to be going on in this relationship. Because if you have someone that's hitting every boyfriend that they've been with, or if you have a guy that's domestic violence with every female that he's with or anything like that, then you'll see the trend that, okay, this is something that keeps popping up.
It's like, why do you think this is going to be different this time?
Exactly. If you have someone that goes out and cheats every time he's with a girl or something like that, it's like, okay, there's obviously a reason why he's doing it. There's a why behind the what. Yeah. And that significant other is either going to... yeah.
It's okay, nobody's watching. So we played on a different time. You have any relationship questions, Savion?
No.
Because I know, you're all set.
Yeah.
What you looking for in a female other than?
Huh?
I said, what are you looking for in a female?
She gotta be cute.
Gender?
Enough. She gotta be a female. Actual female, natural born female. She just gotta be chill. And she gotta be motivated to do better.
So how would you feel if a female rapped better than you?
I wouldn't be with her. I'll be like, you're cool, but my female can't rap better than me.
No.
But females can't rap anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Young and May? You said that's a dude? She's like,
yeah.
She's the best female rapper out there. She's better than Nicki Minaj.
She better than Nicki. But she raps like a dude, though.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
wild.
why you can't really say she's a good female.
It's kind of like saying like a transgender person is in like a female sport and they're like the best one. It's like, but isn't that just the guy?
Right. Like I compare Young and May to like dudes. That's what I feel like she is.
I mean, she talks about herself in that way also. But yeah, do you feel like transgender should be? Do you feel like transgender females should be allowed to compete in female sports?
Oh wow, that's a weird. That came out of nowhere.
I don't want to mess with your sales or anything. If this is going, nobody's watching either.
Imagine this blows up.
Do I feel transgender girls should be able to be in other sports?
No, in female sports.
Should they be able to be in sales?
Shut up.
I feel that they should have. There should be a specific for them.
For transgendered?
Yeah, there should be a specific for them rather than them getting into the males or the females, because at the end of the day, it's kind of just like it's different. So it's kind of like, it's like those old cartoons or whatever, shit like that of wolf in sheep's clothing or whatever, something like that. It's just
shit.
It's kind of
he compares with transgenders to wolves.
Wolves are dope. Sometimes you gotta be a wolf. You gotta be a wolf in this world.
Because sometimes you gotta be a bitch.
What? I didn't say
that. Because the argument around it right now is like because there's females like dominating like weightlifting categories who like used to be men but transitioned to women, now they're like dominating those.
I mean, it's just I'm not comparing it to anything else, but you just gotta look at it. If you have dogs, cats, and birds, then you're gonna have dogs, cats, and birds separate. You're not going to have dogs with birds, cats with dogs. So it's kind of like,
unless that cat wants to be a dog.
So it's kind of like,
what if the cat wants to be a dog?
So it's kind of like the Olympics. They have the handicap Olympics. They don't have other people that are just jumping in there. They don't have the people that fake handicap placards and all that.
So are you saying transgenders are fake the other gender?
No, I'm saying transgenders are transgender. So they're neither gender, so they're their own category.
I respect
So
it.
with them being their own category,
Yeah.
they should have their own division to where they should have all that.
Yeah, I get if that makes sense if you take it from that perspective, but there's definitely some people that are like transgenders are this gender, they're just in a different body.
And for example,
so then you have to deal with that.
Look at Juwanna Man. I don't know if you guys ever watched that movie.
Juwanna Man?
Yeah, the basketball. He was a pro athlete. He was a guy, made it good, and he did something to where he got suspended. So then he didn't want to give up playing basketball, so he wanted to dress up as a female and play basketball in the female league.
Is this like a nonfiction?
This is a movie.
It's real? Is it based on real stuff?
I don't know. No,
Yeah, I wonder, is it based? I don't know.
Probably not. I don't know.
Probably now, huh?
But the thing is, with the laws and everything like that, it's just, at the end of the day, there's no telling what's possible and what's not possible with the whole government and all that stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's kind of just, if you can get in, then you get in.
You just get it in when you can, folks.
It's like a guy it's been done, but if it's like, as you can see, like California, as far as like domestic violence and everything, guys are automatically going to go to jail because they're the dominant ones. They're the ones that have the power and all that stuff like that. So if you're putting a guy that is now changing to a girl into a UFC ring with another female, that power that the guy naturally has, but even though he converted to a female, because his mindset was like, hey, I want to be this, then that's that. No one's saying, hey, you can't be whoever you want to be, because be whoever you want to be in the world at the end of the day. But you're now giving an unfair advantage to this female.
Yeah.
To where if she does have that in her to whoop that ass of that guy that turned into a female, then that right there should be like, okay, cool. It's like a final boss at the end of a video game.
Transgender man is the final boss. All right, you beat all the females.
So now beat this one.
This is Rick.
Yeah, so it's just I feel like, nothing to take away from them, but it just gives an unfair advantage to the people that are in that sport that are that.
Because there's an obvious disparity between men and female when it comes to like athletic ability.
Yeah, so I say just give them their own category to where, there's that. I mean, look at the LGBT. They are their own group. They're not part of Black Lives Matters. They're not part of Asian Lives Matters, White Lives Matters, whatever that might be. They're their own group. That's why they had their own month. We have our Black History Month. They had their day, month, week, whatever. The Day of the Dead. It's just different.
Cinco de Mayo. So I see no difference between Black History Month. That's whack, bro. Mexicans only got a day.
Facts, bro. Y'all need to fight for some more
rights. It's not even like Day of the Dead isn't even like a day for Mexicans.
You guys have Cinco de Mayo.
This is a knockoff of Halloween.
But I guess it's just like everyone has their own thing. They have their own group.
Yeah.
And it's like you can support that group.
So you support segregation then? No, I'm playing. But no, I see what you're saying. It's just that's not really the way that transgender people approach that for the most part, because they're like, well, no, we're that or whatever.
Yeah, you can be that, but also be in that same category. The thing is, it's like if you're switching from a male to a female, cool, you can be labeled a female.
Yeah.
But you are still a transgender because you were not a female when you first started. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of like just, all right, this is what happened. It's kind of like people that are born out of the States. Cool, we know you want, some people want to come to America and be in America, but they're born out of the States. At the end of the day, it's a simple factor of what was and what had happened. Yeah. You can change whatever. You can change however that might be, face, whatever. Mm-hmm. But you still were, and that's pretty much just kind of that. You just have different advantages.
Yeah, it's just the idea.
But I mean, you could still, if it's just transgender should just have their own competition. If it's like the Olympics or whatever that might be, they can just, do that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know what direction everything's going to go in moving forward, but just the idea that the world has to conform to a person's own self-identification at whatever point they choose to identify as something is kind of wild. Just the idea of like other people satisfying your own ideas of yourself is kind of never sat well with me. Even like
a lot of times, a lot of things are just a lot of control. People just want to have control over certain things. Mm-hmm. And so people want to have control over themselves. They don't want to feel like they're being controlled by someone else or anything of that matter. So they make those choices so that they have full control over themselves. That they're free with themselves. They're one with themselves.
Yeah.
Instead of being controlled, like majority of Americans are being controlled by the media that's going on. So it's just, you know.
Yeah, I think that's an area where you have to leave it up to people to make either the right or the wrong decision. Because the genuineness is actually what's going to stimulate positive interactions with people versus enforcing whatever, like how they try to enforce transgender pronouns in Canada or whatever, however long ago. Timber. It's all good, bro. You make 100K, you can buy another one. You trying to fix that camera? But no, yeah, just like when they were trying to enforce that like people had to use, like if someone identified as something, you had to refer to them as that particular pronoun. I don't really feel like that solves anything, especially for people that don't want to like call people that or whatever. Because if you're really trying to get that to be a part of society, you just have to let people decide on their own. Like even with issues like abortion or whatever, I know there's like a lot of different perspectives on that, but I think everybody for the most part understands that abortion isn't something that is like I think the saying is legal but rare or something like that. Yeah. So I think that kind of encapsulates it, the mindset that you should approach it with. It's something that should be up to the people to decide, but rare in that people should make the decision not to have one or whatever.
Speaking of that, how do you feel about the COVID vaccine? Are you gonna take it, or have you taken it?
Well,
oh dang, anti-vaxxer here.
No, I'm not anti or anything of that. It's just, it's not research or anything as far as that. And from research that I have looked, it's not FCA approved. Kills the antibodies that are in your body, so it's just, I don't know, there's a lot of different views and everything on it. So it's like like the first phone that came out, there's prototypes. So people are gonna get the prototypes and all that. So I mean, if you're in a rush to get out of the state, get out of the country, and whatever that might be, then go for it. But I don't know, there's just a lot that's out there circulating around to where you don't know what's what. So
you're basically saying you're not traveling anywhere right now.
He just said he travels every day for work,
but not out of the country.
How long have you guys been doing podcasting for?
It's like our 5th episode.
Yeah. So
2 months. What's you guys' goal with this?
Make 6 figures.
Let's get off that anti-vaccine.
We're trying to make 100,000.
Okay.
What?
Well, what?
That's dope. I don't think we're gonna get that far. I think we'll get to a certain point where we're start making money, and then Tavion will start to lose his mind over it, and then we'll break up somehow, like the Beatles. Either a girl will get involved or something like that, and it just, I don't know. We'll
just crumble. Be the Beatles. Why can't we be a slaughterhouse?
Crumble like a Rome.
You're Eminem, and I'm Royce the 5'9".
Yeah, I'll be Eminem. I need a Machine Gun Kelly though to set me off. I feel like that's what generates. We're actually gonna rap on this podcast too today if you're down for it.
You're gonna rap?
Yeah. You just give your reaction to it, and you can post this on Instagram. Do it everywhere.
I feel it. Yeah,
because we want people to come on and like rap and do like acrobatics and stuff in the future. So we gotta set the tone for talents.
I feel it. This chair is really uncomfortable.
You want to sit here? You want to trade seats for a little bit? Be the Capitan?
No, that's cool. I'll thug it out.
All right, so we're just gonna talk about negative things.
Do you have any more like questions and stuff for him?
Why? Did you want to go in a different direction?
I'm just asking. I kind of, I'm playing off you right now. I kind of don't have any more questions.
No, you just ask questions. Well, like we're gonna end the podcast if I don't have any more questions. So it's been an hour and 15 minutes. I feel like normally when we do this, we just talk about nothing. So and like I didn't know if you were gonna show up today or not. So I was like, I didn't have any questions ready. Because, like, when I asked him, he was like, if I can, I will. And I kind of assumed that's the answer you were going to give because I figured you were a businessman whose time was very valuable. But But no, I should have been
You're
prepared.
having trouble finding
I just
deals
want
with
to.
strong
I don't know. I
cash
feel like we
flow.
talked
You're not
about
alone.
business.
With
I'm
housing
trying to
prices
emulate all
going
the
through
other
the
podcasts
roof, it's
I've been watching.
getting harder and harder to find
Talking
good
about high
deals
value men
across
and
the
stuff.
board. But
I think
they
you're
do
doing a good
exist.
job.
In this video,
You're
I'm
doing a
going to
great
show
job.
you 6
Yeah, I'm doing
markets
great.
that are cash flow unicorns.
What are the questions?
No, I want to know though. Serious note.
What's up?
So the most money I've ever seen at one, well, I can't say that time, but the second most money, the second most money I've ever seen at one time was when I was going to college and I got like my loans and shit. So you said that you crossed 100,000. How did you feel when you like crossed 100,000 for the first time?
It was interesting. It was
With all the strippers around, bro, I have no idea. It's wild.
it was a lot of work. Yeah, it was a lot of work. Pushes you out of your comfort zone.
Did you even know that you had crossed that threshold when you had crossed it?
Yeah.
No. Didn't know that I crossed it. Once I crossed it, I just pretty much received it. Just kind of started doing the taxes and everything like that, and then just kind of picked that up, and then you just kind of keep going. So
Like wowzers, that's a lot of bills there.
yeah. So this month, shooting for 250.
Wait. Was that in a month or like year?
Or this year, I'm shooting for 250.
I was about to say, bro, why are you
I
here?
say this nigga's a millionaire.
250 a month.
Just different things.
Yeah, it's that, bro.
I've had some months where I brought in 20K. Yeah, so it's just
I've had some years where I brought in 20K.
I've
That's some
had-
good years, bro.
I've had some years where I brought in 20K also. So,
Yeah.
To think about bringing that in a year and then doing it in a month, it's kind of changes your mind frame.
It's almost like anything's possible. So to confine yourself to a financial goal is kind of counterproductive.
A lot of things are possible. It's just you gotta have the work ethic and you gotta have the mindset and discipline to get to there. So you sacrifice a lot of stuff, sacrifice a lot of partying and all that, unless it was something that was bringing in income. But yeah, a lot of spare time that you normally would have doing just watching TV, stuff like that, and now you're switching that out for good habits like reading, meditating, just different stuff like that.
Go ahead.
What was like your biggest purchase that you made? Cause I spent 30,000 on something one time, but only at one time.
What'd you
And
spend?
I never did it
What'd you
again.
spend 30,000 on?
Imagine. I wish. I feel like 35, but it wasn't at once.
What'd you spend 30,000 on?
A loan. I gave somebody a loan.
You gave someone a loan of 30,000.
Yeah.
Was it a loan or was it something that you thought you were investing in?
It was half and half. I knew I wasn't gonna get some of it back, but I believed enough in the person to where
That's not an
I get some
investment.
back. No, because it was a business. He had a business.
How'd that business go?
Well, we're still working on the returns. It's still going, not going as fast as it should be going. So I kind of wish I didn't do that. But like I said, I knew I wasn't gonna get all of it back. I just didn't know it'd be that much.
Gotcha.
Doesn't really sound like an investment. If I think an investment is something where you think you're gonna make money, not when when you're already going into it knowing that you're not.
I feel
gonna
like
make money.
there's a level of like a risk you feel when you're making an
I
investment.
can't wait to invest these $5 and get these $3 back.
No, I think it's like a plus or minus thing. It's a margin. So it's like I feel like there's a possibility I could lose like 5,000, but there's also a possibility I could gain like 40,000. So that's how.
So you did think that you were gonna get all of it back and then some.
But I was leaning more towards the other side.
When you made the investment, did you do research?
Nah,
stuff?
it was a person. It was somebody I know. They have a good track record, so I was doing it based off that pretty much.
Gotcha.
They ran track. It's like I'm playing. So what sports are you into, Jordan? Or what are your hobbies?
Indy 500. Nick, I asked him a question.
I know he answered it.
No, he didn't.
Oh, what was the question?
What's the largest purchase you made?
That's wild, bro. That's like some baller report stuff.
My kids.
Boy, he's a
Oh my gosh, bro. He's
You bought your kid from Jeff Epstein's island.
they came in FedEx. You had to pay. Did you at least pay for accelerated delivery? It's like,
I would say the money that I put into my kids is probably the biggest investment. Other than that, everything else is kind of very minor.
What payoff are you hoping to see in that investment?
I didn't 10x.
No, it's gonna be a deep answer. Or better be.
Payoff is setting them up for a good future.
What does that do for you?
You didn't even have a question ready.
No, honestly, that's just how I ask questions.
What does it do for me?
Yeah.
It gives me the satisfaction that hey, my kids are set as far as with finances.
Yeah.
Now I just need to make sure that they're set as far as how they see the world and knowing that the world's not that nice, but hey. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah. Nice. I've heard people say that that's the most important job that they're ever gonna have is being a parent. Do you feel like that?
It's a big responsibility.
He said these solar panels, though.
Yeah. I gotta give recognition to their moms. Their moms are awesome for, making sure that they're good, they're set, they're taken care of, and all that stuff. So they get all the credit as far as with that. I'm just on the back burner, just pretty much making sure that they're set for when they get to.
I didn't say you're the most important person in their lives. I said being a parent is the most important job.
Being a parent is the most important job, and I'm giving majority of that credit to the moms because they've done an outstanding job as far as with the kids. So it's just kind of that's just that right there.
Mm-hmm. That's dope.
Do you keep up with anybody you know from high school?
Flex on them?
No, not really, honestly.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I know from high school are not doing anything with their lives.
Shout out to
not doing anything with their lives. They've gone ghost or just no, not really.
Damn.
There's probably about 2 to 3 people about 3 to 5 people maybe that I keep up with in San Diego that aren't family.
What do you think your biggest motivation is right now?
Biggest motivation is kind of getting everything settled so that I can kind of help out with parents more.
Nice.
My kids, and just not hitting rock bottom.
What is that? How old is your oldest, if you don't mind me asking?
He turns
4.
He turned 7 on Friday.
7.
Yeah, my daughter's 4.
Oh, nice. How did that affect you 7 years ago when you became a father? What was one of the biggest changes in your life?
It was uncomfortable, so it taught me a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
Taught me that I can't just think about my life. I have to really think about my son's life. So it helped out in a lot of decisions that I made. So cut down on a lot of partying, not as much as I did. You just kind of view things very differently.
Nice.
Yeah. To where there was a time about 3 years ago, I would say. About 3 years ago that I did acid for the first time. And
we can talk about that. Right.
Have you done it since?
Yeah.
Wait, you did it 3 to 5 years ago, and then what?
So 3 to 5 years ago, I did acid with one of my best buds out in Vegas, the one that I'm helping him with his car dealership. I did it on Halloween, which I don't know why I did it on Halloween, but I did it on Halloween, and I just had a bad trip. So it was a bad trip. I was just thinking I could be gone today. What if I left my kids? All that stuff like that. So it just kind of gets you thinking. So that's when I got life insurance, and I have stuff set away for my kids to make sure that they're good type deal.
So what, the trip made you think that?
Trip just made me realize hey, you know what? There's a lot of things you need to pick up on.
Because of the acid, or you reflected on it later?
Reflected on it pretty much during the trip, after the
also,
trip.
It was almost like a good trip because it helped you.
Yeah, but it's just not something that I would have experienced. I would have. It was just the mindset was bad because I was just in a negative state of mind. So if you're if you're negative on the inside, that'll come out. Now, if you're happy on the inside, if you're good, if you're at peace with life, you're okay, then cool, you're good.
So you're recommending acid to happy people?
If you just need to unlock parts of your brain and kind of figure some things out, I would recommend it. Yeah.
Ooh, is that your approach to psychedelics in general? Because I know of someone that recently
You
tampered with.
got some people that microdose. Microdosing kind of helps out. Does that? It's healthier than Adderall and a bunch of all the other drugs that are fueled in Vegas, as everyone may know. But it's not something that you do consistently. But like after you've hit a goal or something like that you might do, and hit an achievement or something like that, it'd be cool to some dabbling if you're on vacation or just like relaxing for a day or something.
You're just like in a good mindset.
Yeah, just doing something like that. Sometimes when you're doing, there's been times where I've dabbled with it and then I just wanted to go work or something like that, or go riding on the boat or whatever, something like that. So it's just different things. You just gotta you work hard, you play hard. So it's like you work hard, you go out, you put in all that sacrifice and all that stuff, and then when you have times where you want to relax and chill and stuff like that, and you're able to just relax.
Have you heard of ayahuasca?
No, I haven't heard of ayahuasca.
It's at its fundamental root, it's a leaf, I think. That has DMT in it, and then they combine it with
DMT.
Yeah,
I heard of DMT.
Yeah, and then they combine it with a vine, and then when you combine those two, they make it into a tea, and then that allows you to digest it orally, and then it gets digested by your gut and processed by your gut, and then it lets you trip for like 5 hours or something, versus smoking it, and then the trip only lasts like however many minutes. But yeah, my cousin recently did ayahuasca. Joe Rogan's talked about it on his podcast a couple times. He's had some experts on there. And my cousin was he's kind of like me. He's kind of like laid back or whatever. He doesn't really give too much. Yeah, pretty much, and no hair. And he doesn't really give too much thought to. He never really gave that much thought, I don't think, to like that type of like that area of life, that dimension of life, the spiritual aspect of everything and whatever, how everything's connected. But he went and did ayahuasca, and he came back, and I didn't recognize him for the first like 30 minutes that we were sitting down and talking. Like, we never hug and stuff. But he came up, and the first thing we did was try to give me a hug, and I socked him in the chest, just to play with the bit. And we sat down, and he talked a lot about his experience and how it and to some extent altered his perspective on life. And I asked him what the meaning of life was, and he said, in this dimension, which was his conversation in and of itself. He said, in this dimension, it's just to be kind and love everybody.
Yeah, I mean, be kind, loving everybody. At the end of the day, no one's really an enemy. But you have people that are negative. You have people that are toxic, stuff like that. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like if you know they're going to be toxic, if you know they're going to be bad, and you treat them as if you already know that, and you can still be nice and all that stuff. You just handle them with a long handle spoon. So at the end of the day, it's just you just have to do what you can to not let anyone disrupt your energy. So if you continue to have positive, good energy and all that, and continue to go through life with that, then you're good.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe in like energy, and that we all have energy?
Energy is everything. You can tell a lot about energy. It's simple. It's
how do you identify energy?
Energy can be something as simple as tension. If you guys are arguing or something like that, you can feel the energy in the room being negative energy. If you can feel a lot of love in the air, like an orgy or some shit like that, there you go. You got that. So it's just energy you definitely can feel. You can feel when someone is not talking to you. Or actually, you know what? Here's a good example for you. When you go somewhere and then you have a girl and then you see an ex-girl, you're going to feel some type of way.
Yeah.
You're going to feel some type of energy there. Now, nobody else may feel that energy, but you're going to feel that energy.
What if I were to say that energy is just you thinking that there's suddenly a potential for a certain outcome that might be negative, and that enters your mind?
However you look at the energy is however you look at it, but you can always react to the energy a different way. So, yeah, you can be uncomfortable a lot of times. And people can't tell you're uncomfortable because it's how you feel on the inside. It's not how you're expressing yourself on the outside. So people don't know how you're feeling unless you make that known or you show it.
Yeah, that's true. I definitely see it coming out when I try not to make it come out sometimes. If I'm in like a pressure situation or something. Like, you think you could lie on a lie detector test, or if you were being like interrogated and you had to lie about something, you feel like you keep it cool, not lie, not spill the beans.
I can keep my cool, but I can't handle like what would go on inside of me. So, like I said, we're all emotional creatures. So unless we train our body or our mindset or all that to, you know, do that, if you're a narcissist or whatever, and you can believe your lie without necessarily doing whatever, then maybe you can probably pass that. But I don't really know.
Yeah, I get scared when I yawn. People around me don't yawn.
You get scared when that's all just mind.
Because I heard you're a sociopath if you don't yawn when other people yawn. But yeah, next question. I low-key feel like yawning. You just like...
It's crazy because you didn't yawn.
Huh? No, I did. Internally, though, I can't. I am a sociopath also. There's something about emotions I just don't understand. So I have a hard time expressing
Socio talk.
Huh?
Nice.
Yeah.
That's the next name for your little podcast, Socio Talk.
Yeah, it's gonna be me and another sociopath having conversations with no emotion, talking about like really deep stuff, inconsequentially. But yeah, what do you think the meaning of life is?
Sounds like a question you ask someone when you're out of questions.
Where do you vacation? Like what the?
I work. When I vacation, we do little fun things here and there. Massage 1 week. Probably go to Topgolf. We'll go ride exotic cars like Lamborghinis or something like that. Go on a boat. Come to San Diego. That's kind of what I do for my vacation. Yeah, I mean, I went to Colorado this year. Where else did I go this year? Yeah, I just went to Colorado, I think. And I went to Washington. So yeah, just doing different things that are just out of your comfort zone type deal, that you wouldn't normally do, and just experiences.
We had a conversation here last time talking about how after a certain age, people you generally don't do new things, and how I still don't get what the point of what you were saying was.
Can you finish your question?
You're basically saying that life doesn't matter after the age of 30.
Yeah.
Well,
but I didn't say 30. I just said there's like a certain age you get to where you don't really try to get better because you've already got like a certain foundation that you got. And most of the time people grind because they want adoration from the people around them. Those are things that we usually care about when we're younger. So once we get older, we kind of don't care about those things anymore, and we're just content, and we're just riding it out, wherever we're at until we die.
Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. One thing I would recommend is, going to an old folks home whenever you guys have time or something like that, and just ask them about, how their life. You're going to have some people that will talk about things that they wish they had done, and you'll have people that talk about things that they did do and that are much more happy. But you got to think about it. Do you want to be like a lot of these people that are going around playing penny slots and all that stuff like that when they're in their 90s and everything, or being able to go on a cruise or go wherever they want to go? So it's like you work hard at the younger age, everything like that. You make that sacrifice when you're young, and depending on how big that sacrifice is, it depends on the reward that you get when you're old.
Do you listen to Jordan Peterson?
Yeah, I've listened to Jordan Peterson.
Yeah, I like his perspective on sacrifices. He's like, you don't get to not make a sacrifice. You're either gonna make a sacrifice now and then reap the benefits of it later, or you're gonna make a sacrifice later by not being able to reap the benefits of the sacrifices you make earlier.
Yeah.
So you have to take a sacrifice.
It's pretty much that. I mean, it's hard being broke. It's hard being rich. So you got to choose your heart.
Yeah, I saw that one too.
So it's just kind of choosing between those right there. A lot of people are content where they're at. A lot of people are set. A lot of people, are last minute people. So it all just depends. Everyone's different. They've had different upbringings. They've had different things that they've looked into and stuff like that, to where they view things a certain way. And you can't really just judge them on whatever that they may see it. It's just you don't want to be that person at the end of the day to where your life is pretty much ran out and you're just like, I wish I should have did that. I wish I did that.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about universal basic income? Because that's kind of I'll wait till you can.
No, say what you're gonna say.
No, I'm gonna let Tavion do what he needs to do. Just let me know when you're ready. Commit, bro. Yeah, commit to it.
All right, man.
Yeah, I bet. Because that kind of eliminates the need to have that like initial struggle of getting to a position where you could even do what you want to do, like what you enjoy doing.
The thing is, it's just, it's a lot of bad habits that a lot of people have. They picked up from their parents or picked up from something that they did, and they just kind of got to rewire themselves to where they just change that stuff out. So that's why now I meditate, now I read, go work out, gym, stuff like that. It's just you got to substitute that stuff from playing video games all day, watching movies all day, and just, smoking weed and drinking drinks and just chilling all day.
So you wouldn't support universal basic income?
Oh, like government income and all
Yeah, like government
like
assistance to like if their people were to get rid of like food stamps or whatever or
I
welfare.
mean, I see a point of it because there are moms that are out there that are struggling, that are really struggling because they have kids, because the fathers aren't there or anything like that, so they need that.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that are finessing the system to where they're just like, all right, cool. There's people that are making, that I've heard that my mom pretty much would see, is driving up to the EBT in a brand new Porsche, a brand new Mercedes or something like that, and they're going and getting food stamps. So
Yeah.
there's people that know how to finesse the system and doing that, and there's people that actually really need it.
Yeah, because I think the argument is that people, based off of the wages like that they're paid right now, like minimum wage. Like I'm not saying anybody should make a career out of a minimum wage position, but people that do don't make enough to be able to support themselves or to be able to build a life off of that.
Well, yeah, you look at the inflation and everything going up and stuff like that. Now, you pretty much got to have an average of like 2 jobs to be able to just like live in this economy.
Yeah, and in a sense, then the argument for universal basic income would be to allow people to actually eliminate the financial burden of existing, and then build off of whatever career you decide to choose.
I mean, I feel, with the financial aid and stuff like that for people that are working and all that stuff like that, if it supplied half of their expenses or even 75% of that to where what they're working and all that stuff like that can go towards them building themselves, them putting themselves in a better position, or just getting a head start ahead on the bills and stuff like that so that they can breathe, then, you can do that. Because if you look at it, I mean, it kind of ties to it, but not really, but it's just the finances. Finances are a big thing, and that's one of the number one reasons besides communication that people get divorced.
Finances and communication?
Finances and communication are a big reason why people have divorces. That's the reason why during Corona there was so much divorces that went up. Divorce rate went up.
Because everybody was forced to talk to each other?
Communication's there. They have to explain everything. They have people that, you're at work more than you're at home. So if you're at work more than you're at home, then you're having a work family. You're bonding with other people and all that to where you just come home and do that. So that's why, I kind of see it as, mine is a personal view here, but, people that are fathers that are with the moms and all that stuff that just come home, they're so tired and everything from work that when they come home, they don't want to deal with their kids and all stuff like that. So it's like, you don't get to choose when you want to be a dad type deal. So it's kind of like, if you're working and doing all this stuff, you're coming home and you're just like, oh, I want to watch TV, do all this stuff like that. No, go do this or whatever. It doesn't really work that way because your kid hasn't seen you. You've been at work all the time. So then when you are around your kid or you're with your kid, I feel you should literally just invest all that time in your kid because they're learning everything from you. So spend time with them and all that stuff like that. And then when they're asleep, they're whatever, then you can have your me time. Then you can do all that. It's just a sacrifice that you've made. So, yeah, I mean, as far as like with the government income and stuff like that, it's kind of a, if you need it, cool if you need it. But if you don't need it, then, yeah, you have a lot of people that because of the, incentives, the government incentives and all stuff like that, the checks that they were giving out and stuff like that, a lot of people were getting paid more on unemployment than there were the people that were out there still working during the corona and stuff. So where you look at that, and it's kind of like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense because it's like, okay, well, yeah, at least raise the pay of the people that are out there working, construction workers, stuff like that, people that are even working at McDonald's and all that while they're just doing this, driving and stuff. So it's just, yeah, there's a lot of things that you're not going to agree with, some things that you are going to agree with, but, at the end of the day, unless you go get a petition and you go do that and you fight for it and all that stuff like that, and you get enough people to stand behind you or whatever, or you see someone else do that and you can just invest into that or whatever. Yeah, it's pretty much that. You either live with it or you make a change.
Facts. Dope. All right. I have one last question. Do you have anything you want to ask?
No.
Oh, okay. So you're a black man. Wait, are you? Because like I don't even know. Because like hanging out with the time all the time we hang out or whatever. Are you Pacific Islander?
We're Cape Verdean, so off the west coast of Africa.
No, yeah, that's your nationality. Is that? No, that's not even your nationality.
Black and Portuguese.
So people from Cape Verde are black.
Black and Portuguese.
Black and Portuguese.
Black and Portuguese.
Huh. I'm sure that doesn't make sense, but I don't know how to say it doesn't. So you're black and Portuguese. But I see you.
So it's like that's like saying I'm black and white, but instead of saying I'm black and white, I'm Creole.
Creole, not Portuguese. Is Creole and Portuguese the same thing? Or is black and Portuguese Creole when you mix them together like a cocktail? Can I have a Creole, please? Oh, that's just one shot of black and one measure of Portuguese. Creole. And they drink it, and then they look over to the lady next to them, and you're like, listen, I don't have to be here, but I'm here. See, I'm trying to incorporate everything I learned in this podcast, and that's how we climax. No, but you're black. Okay, so basically you're black, bro.
I mean, you asked my races, so I got, detailed, not as detailed, because I'm a lot more than that, but yeah.
I don't know if...
To generalize it, if you're a generalizer, I'm black.
Yeah, because I don't think Portuguese is a race. But, there was a cop outside or whatever. You came in, you didn't really seem to care. Some black guys aren't that way. Bro, I wanted to talk about this, actually. Bro, I was sleeping the other day in my car, and I hallucinated black people outside of my car. I was so tired, bro, because I had... maybe, that's the thing. That's actually...
Was it dark outside, or was it light?
What you mean, like they were white people, but it was dark outside, so it's just like I couldn't tell the difference.
Talking about the time of day, was it night or dark? Was it day
it was
nighttime?
I was afraid, so it was nighttime.
Okay.
No, because I get to work at my shift starts at 5 a.m., but I was trying to get there early or whatever because I had worked the night prior until midnight. So I was like, it was one of those things where it's like if I sleep, I'm gonna feel worse, like when I wake up or whatever. So I'm not even gonna sleep. So I just went home, showered. And then I was out at it was like 3:30, and I was outside the place of business. But I was like coming in out of consciousness. So I was like, I can't work like this. So I was gonna knock out for like 20 minutes, and I was snoozing, and I just heard, "Hey, cuz," and like a bunch of like very generic, very like generic, bro. I don't know if I was, but it was like so real, bro. That was like the scariest part, and I kept my eyes closed because I was scared, and I was like, because it sounded like they were right outside my door. And I was like, if these people see me, I'm like, my life is over. So I kept my eyes closed, bro.
So, I guess the actual question here is, why are you afraid of black people?
I'm not afraid of black people. It's not so much that I'm afraid of black people. I'm just afraid of black people at 3:30 in the morning in downtown San Diego when I'm all by myself in a car or whatever.
So do you feel like a Karen?
A Karen?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't call it cops. I think there's a big distinction between a Karen that calls the cops and a Karen. I think that's what makes the distinction.
So you feel like an Alejandro?
Yeah, I'm trying to rebrand the Karen as like a Karen Light, but like nah. I mean, I wasn't, bro. I don't think it's racist to think that you're in a dangerous position and then react to that dangerous position.
I think what you're trying to get at with this question is,
oh, it's not even a question.
all right.
But I'm interested to see what you thought the question was. Go ahead, answer.
You mentioned the cop outside and all that stuff. I don't really have that fear, like I used to.
You used to be afraid of black people?
No, not the black people. It's just the cops just pulling over and all that stuff because of the stories and all that you see. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of different things that can happen, stuff like that. Yeah, honestly, with me, it's kind of like unless it's a bike cop, I've pretty much talked my way out of a lot of tickets. I'd even talk my way out of a lot of tickets. It's just kind of the energy and just kind of giving that officer respect type deal. If it's nighttime, and you're driving or something like that, if a cop's walking up on your car, the number one thing they fear is you pulling out a gun and shooting at them while they're walking up on the car. So if they see that your hands are on the steering wheel and you got the light on, stuff like that, cool. That gives them that safety. That gives them that peace of mind that, hey, okay, this guy obviously knows and all this. And then thing is with them is it's just they're gonna come in with the power frame. Cool, let them come in with the power frame. They're there for a reason. They feel important. They want to feel important, all that stuff like that. So you let them come in with the power frame. A lot of people will try to hit them with an analytical frame. What would you stop me for? Oh, I didn't do this, or try to argue, or whatever that might be. Try to cause a scene or whatever. It's just like, yo, simple. It's just, all right, if it's a ticket, you know you did something wrong. Take the ticket. Simple as that.
Yeah.
A lot of times, won't even give you a damn ticket. So it's just, only time I know I'm getting a ticket is if I get pulled over by a bike cop. That's regardless when.
A motorcycle cop?
A motorcycle cop. Regardless,
Or a
I'm
really
always
fast cyclist?
Yeah. No matter when.
Sometimes they go in between the cars at the red lights.
Oh, yeah.
And they see you on your phone.
Wait, why a bike cop?
I've always gotten a ticket from a bike cop or a motorcycle cop. It's just how it is, but there's multiple times where SUVs, cars, they pulled me over and they didn't give me a ticket.
Wait, are you just saying like it just happens to be that the bike cops give you tickets?
Motorcycle cops give everyone tickets. I don't think there's one person that's talked their way out of not getting a ticket from a motorcycle cop.
Do you feel like it's fair that we live in a society where a system set up to where people can talk themselves out of tickets, as opposed to there just being like a generic standard across the board?
Well, at the end of the day, people are human beings. Some people that have family that are in the police force and all that stuff like that get away with a lot more also.
Yeah, so you don't.
I mean, if you're good with the president, you can probably get out of jail for doing something illegal. If you're good with Secretary of the State, then that's that. So at the end of the day, it's kind of like what they told me when I first moved to Vegas. It's all about who you know. So if you know the right people, you're good.
So you feel like that's just like a matter of fact type of thing?
I mean, it's just, giving the respect where respect's due. The guy's doing his job and all stuff like that. Let him do his job. I mean, he doesn't need added on stress or added on extra or anything like that. Yeah. So it's like, cool. You can be upset. You can be pissed off because you probably did something. Now, if you didn't do anything, then cool. Then there's like, okay, there's suspension. There's something that I can do this. Then it's all just knowing your rights and all shit like that and just kind of holding it to that.
Yeah.
If you're stating your rights towards the police officer and everything like that, you don't have to make him feel less than, because if he feels less than, he's going to do whatever he can to get his ego back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like playing it off of that. It's human psychology at the end of the day.
So there is some responsibility on the civilian themselves to know how to handle the situation.
Because it's just like, I mean, you working at the restaurant, something like that. Someone gets pissed off or something like that. I don't know if you're a waiter or whatever, but if you're a waiter and someone gets pissed off and they treat you like shit, they're taking away your power and all that. You're already just taking their order and everything like that. Yeah. You're just doing your job. It's not your fault the food's fucked up. They might have ordered something and the chef messed up on it or something like that, but then the waiter's getting yelled at. So at the end of the day, everyone's just doing their job. So it's kind of like just giving that respect to where the respect is due. Yeah. You should never make yourself feel better than someone else when they're doing something that they're getting paid to feed their family and all that stuff like that. So for cops and everything, you simply give them that respect and all that stuff. They pulled you over, they're doing their job. Now, if they're not doing their job and you can see it, they're not doing their job and they're doing other stuff, then okay, know your shit and take care of it and handle it how you handle it. So that's kind of that.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, all there is the consequence of the situation. Is that where you're at with it?
Start beating the hell out of both of you guys. Walk out.
Like, that's even possible. But what were you gonna say?
Nah, just looking. So the SD card is in red, which means it's. So we gotta like cut.
But you want to wrap now?
Yeah, it should be a wrap. Actually, it's 2 hours.
2 hours.
You said it comes about 2 hours, and you had a caution light on there. So
no, I said wrap like rap.
It's a wrap, like
not like
that's all, folks.
Not like WRAP.
Oh, we don't have space for that. It's literally.
Yeah, this was scary, bro.
Nah, it only has 2 hours and 3 minutes worth of.
Where are we at?
157.
So you can't spit 2 minutes?
Nah.
All right, I just want to play my instrumental then. Who's this by?
Have you guys heard Jaton's new song?
All right.
Which one?
This is My Little Pony. Oh, it is. Yeah. It's a DMX beat. It's called We Can Make It.
Yeah, my phone and my charger.
We can make it.
Yeah, but after his rap session, let's go. It's like a blank.
We could definitely make it without the soundtrack.
Oh,
though.
Brazy.
Aren't you a crib?
That is the end of the podcast. Everybody say thank you to Jordan Marcelino, Pyres Gilbert the third.
What's your business name? What's your business name?
J Empires.
J Empires. Direct Solar.
Oh yeah, Direct Solar is the.
Go buy some damn solar panels from Jordan Gilbert.